What is up, guys? REKLEZ98 back here again. I'm here with another Who Would Win series video, or Who Would Win video, and this time, Magneto versus Monsoon. Yes, guys, as soon as I did my Colossus versus Armstrong video, I was requested to do this one, so yeah. And the same thing, look up some information right here. If I know the characters, I'm not going to do this, but if I don't know them that much, then I will do this, so that's why, in case you're wondering, you know. But yeah, let's get into this video. We'll start with Monsoon. So, and again, I'll just talk about his powers and abilities. I'm not gonna get to the background story. So yeah. So Monsoon's body was a unique cyborg chassis, I think, consisting of a series of segments held together by powerful electromagnetic forces, which could separate considerable distances while still remaining part of the whole. This ultimately allowed Monsoon to perform incredible feats that other cyborgs couldn't, such as dodging sword slashes and separate his body to increase his reach or attack from multiple angles at once. In addition, the generator was powerful enough to even allow Monsoon to lift even huge objects like Striker APCs and Hammerhead gunships in the air to hurl at Raiden. The generator was also refined enough to also lift up objects that at least possessed trace amounts of metal, as evidenced by Monsoon's lifting of a reinforced concrete obelisk, or I don't know. This also granted him the ability to stick on metal structures, as his magnetic abilities allowed him to walk upside down, such as when he first introduced himself to Samuel Rodriguez. The cyborg body itself was highly maneuverable. I forgot. With considerable jumping abilities, far greater than that of Raiden's. His eyes were hooked up to cables that attached to a bump in his helmet, similar to Raiden's. Monsoon's cybernetic feet also had extensions at his heels. Yeah, we all can see that clearly. The electromagnetic generator was activated by part of his visor extending outwards. However, even with all of his unique traits, Monsoon's electromagnetic abilities had their weaknesses. His body was not unique from other cyborg bodies, as his was still susceptible to EMP grenades, and a direct strike at the extend generator would instantly cut him off from his electromagnetic abilities, also stunning him briefly, though he can reactivate his electromagnetic abilities again once he had recovered from the initial blast at any given time. In addition to his magnetic abilities, Monsoon also carried a pair of sais called dystopia, which he was extremely skilled with, and a belt with pouches containing red phosphorus grenades. He used the latter to disorient foes attacking from multiple directions. So yes, guys, that's all the info I have on Monsoon. Pretty good amount of info, and you know, Monsoon is actually a really unique character. Kind of sucks though how he died all fast, but I mean that's with every villain pretty much. But yeah, so I think that was good enough info on Monsoon. So now let's get to Magneto. Again, just powers and abilities. So yeah, so let's get started. Judging already, it looks like it's gonna be kind of hard to pick a winner here, but let's see. So Magneto's abilities right here are magnetism, manipulation, and generation of magnetic force fields, flight through magnetic fields, helmet shields against telepathic attacks. Yeah, I knew that. Now let's see it. It's because there's like two parts of abilities. One where it's already there next to his name, and then one where it says powers and abilities. It's complicated to explain. But yeah. Magneto is a mutant with the power to manipulate magnetic fields to achieve a wide range of effects. The primary application of his power is control over magnetism and the manipulation of ferrous and non-ferrous metal, while the maximum amount of mass he can manipulate at one time is unknown. He has moved large asteroids several times and effortlessly levitated a 30,000-ton nuclear submarine. I never knew that. As well as having lifted and manipulated the Golden Gate Bridge. His powers extend into the atomic level, insofar as the electromagnetic force is responsible for chemical bonding, allowing him to manipulate chemical structures and rearrange matter. Although this is often a strenuous task, He can manipulate a large number of individual objects simultaneously, and has assembled complex machinery with his powers. He can also affect non-metallic and non-magnetic objects to a lesser extent, and frequently levitates himself and others. He can also generate electromagnetic pulses of great strength, and manipulate electromagnetic energy down to photons, I think. He can turn invisible by warping visible light around his body. Another way in which Magneto frequently uses his power is the projection of force fields, which selectively block out matter and energy. These fields are strong enough to withstand the simultaneous detonation of multiple thermonuclear weapons. Hence, Magneto is invulnerable to most harm when surrounded by his shield, and can survive in deep space thanks to it. His shields have at times withstood the likes of the X-Men, Thor, Jean Grey, and Phoenix, and briefly during Secret Wars an attack from Galactus. Never knew that. He can also channel his powers through his own body to increase his strength and durability far beyond human limits, and has a baseline reaction time 15 times as short as that of regular humans. On occasion, he has altered the behavior of gravitational fields around him, which has been suggested as evidence of the existence of a unified field, which he can manipulate. He has demonstrated the capacity to produce a wormhole and to safely teleport himself and others via the wormhole. Hold on. Sorry, I messed up. Magneto has been frequently depicted as able to resist all but the strongest or most unexpected of telepathic attacks. A number of explanations have been proposed for his usually strong resistance to telepathy, among them technology wired into his helmet, the explanation given in the X-Men film series and several comic plot lines, some physical aspect of his electromagnetic powers that can interfere with telepathy. He once used the Earth's magnetic field to dampen the powers of all telepaths within the reach. Latent telepathic powers of his own or sheer force of will. The theme of latent telepathic powers has been explored in a number of stories, among them the Secret Wars limited series. In some of his early appearances, Magneto was depicted as capable of engaging in astral projection. He had used Cerebro, I don't know what that is, to locate mutants at great distances while leading the New Mutants. He also, on rare occasions, been shown reading other dreams, issuing telepathic commands, and probing the minds of others. He has demonstrated the ability to shield his mind while in intense meditation, so completely that even Emma Frost was not able to read his thoughts, despite being directly in front of him and actively attempting to do so. In addition to his powers, Magneto has many other skills. He is a genius with competence in various fields of advanced science, especially in genetic manipulation, particle physics, engineering, and other fields of technology. He has engineered advanced weaponry, space stations, superpowered humanoid life forms, devices that generate volcanoes and earthquakes, devices that block telepathy, and devices that can nullify all mutant powers across a few miles except for his own. He has prominently reconstructed some such computerized devices from memory. He has bioengineered new species, including the Savage Land mutants, and using divine technology, Alpha the Ultimate Mutant. He is fluent in many human languages and once single-handedly deciphered the unknown language of a lost civilization. He possesses extraordinary skill in reading the micro-expressions on others' faces and sensing what they are thinking and feeling, whether they are lying, fearful, etc., a skill which he refers to as taking your enemy's measure. He also is a master strategist and tactician with extensive combat experience, and has often been successful in single-handed combat against entire groups of superhuman adversaries. He also has some military training in hand-to-hand combat, and has been shown to be effective with his fists, but he prefers to use his powers when in combat situations. So that was all the information I could get on those two guys. Now, this fight, I think it would be very close, because with Monsoon, he's able to stretch out his body. I don't think that would really stop Magneto from trying to control him. Would it be tough to control him? It probably would be a little hard. But overall, I don't think it would stop Magneto overall from trying to get him. So I think Magneto has what it takes to still manipulate his body. I think he still has what it takes. And judging by what I read, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think Magneto would win because everything that I read, you know, because he's a tactician, he can read your mind. I believe that's what it just said. You know, so I think he has more abilities than Monsoon. I mean, I'm not saying Monsoon is weak, but I mean, technically yes, Monsoon. You know, he does have the advantage in terms of, I guess, long-range combat because he could stretch out his body, and he might be able to get a few shots on Magneto with his size. But again, all the info that I read, I think Magneto has this victory. I really think he would win this. But again, it is a very tough one. But I think Magneto would win. But it would be a very close battle, and I wouldn't mind seeing this. I mean, it sounds very interesting, to be honest. So yeah, guys, that was my look at to that battle. If you didn't check out my Armstrong versus Colossus video, go back and check that one out. And if you have any, if you think Monsoon would win, then leave them on the comment section. And again, these are just my opinions. And if you have any more requested videos of this, just leave them on the comment section. And until then, as always, REKLEZ98 sending out.